My next guest is going to be taking on the Ghost, AJ Fletcher, UFC Fight Night, September 23rd. It is right around the corner. It's Bryan Battle back here on the program. Bryan, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today. I'm looking forward to fight next week. So this we're in the final countdown. The light's right at the end of the tunnel, man. So I'm ready to rock.
You're feeling a little bit like Pac-Man during this camp, going after the Ghost here, AJ Fletcher. Pretty fun matchup here.
No, dude. I mean, it's really I think some people recognize it as a really fun matchup, a really good clash of styles. You know what I'm saying? I think some people are overlooking AJ a little bit. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at the how things look stat wise, and height and reach and everything like that. But he's a very explosive, very dangerous guy. You know what I mean? Um, and it's someone I can't afford to make a mistake against, or he's gonna make me pay for it. But I'm someone he can't afford to make a mistake against either. So I'm excited for him, man. I haven't really actually gotten to show off how much better I've gotten over the past several fights. So maybe this one gets into the second round. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. It looked like you got a full camp. When did you find out about the fight?
I don't remember exactly, but I had at least, I want to say, about 6 weeks to get ready.
Nice.
So I had, plenty of time. Um, this is like the longest I've been able to like diet intentionally for a fight in a long time. You know what I'm saying? This has been the best I've been able to pace out a fight camp in a long time. So right now I've reached new levels in every aspect of the game. So, and like I said, I've been reaching new levels. I've been pushing my ability further and further, but I just haven't even gotten to show it. So I'm really looking forward to this one. You know what I'm saying? AJ's a tough dude, so maybe we get to move around. I get to show off a little bit.
Camp, who did you mainly get a chance to work with this time around? Who've been your main training partners?
We kept it inside the gym. You know what I'm saying? Jonathan Martin, who was my main sparring partner for all of my last fights except for Renat. So, that's kind of a little bit of a good omen there in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? But my brother Jonathan Martin, who will be in the UFC soon, you know what I'm saying? He's 5-1, Aries lightweight champion. He's a monster. I got some work with a lot of work with my brother Upright, who has a very similar build, very similar explosive athleticism. You know what I mean? He's someone who's going to be making waves soon. My teammate Irv, you know what I'm saying, and my brother Josh Motzinger. And really, between those four guys, I've been rotating between those four guys the most.
Nice.
Who all just happen to be, they're all a little bit taller than AJ,
Fletcher.
but they all have a pretty the athletic ability to kind of mimic what he does.
Cool. It's good. A lot of up-and-comers, which is nice. You guys are all hungry at the same time. I still consider you an up-and-comer, in the sense that, you won the Ultimate Fighter. You got a lot of fights on the resume, but still it's, you're still, the best is yet to come, as they say,
Absolutely.
right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like I say, you know what I'm saying? I still got to show people what's up. There's still a lot of question marks about me. So,
well, I'll say this, your one loss in the UFC is not aged that badly considering what he did in his last fight, right? Renat ran right through Kevin Lee, and Kevin Lee's a former title challenger.
Nah, man. People been saying that, and I don't. It's whatever. A loss is a loss. You know what I'm saying? He went out there, and it's not like it was a split decision loss. He whooped my ass. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that loss to me isn't redeemed until I go redeem it myself. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he goes and wins the world title and people are like, wow, you only lost to the guy who won the world. Nah, bump that, bro. No, I need that.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, I like the mentality for sure. I was just, it's just saying it was a tough opponent at the time. How's this fight playing out? How do you envision it going down in the 23rd? How do you see it unfolding?
Well, I mean, like I said, AJ, he has very dynamic striking, you know what I'm saying? Super explosive, you know what I'm saying? Has a wide range of tools, you know what I'm saying? He throws that spinning wheel kick, you know what I'm saying? He's good with the elbows, nice crisp hands, likes to throw a wide range of kicks all over the body, to the leg and to the head. And he's been able to show that he can land all those. But in my honest opinion, I don't really see him trying to stand with me for an extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? He might come out and mess around and flash the hands a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Throw something to make me think we're going to strike. He's got to shoot. You know what I'm saying? That's Once again, you know what I'm saying? We're going to see how much work he's been putting into his double leg. You know what I mean? He's got a really explosive double leg, so I expect he's going to want to use it. He's going to want to get on top. He's going to want to be on top and beat me up a little bit, maybe catch that arm in guillotine. And so, for me, it's just like stifling all of that. You know what I'm saying? And, we got our ways of doing that. You know what I'm saying? If he wants to grapple, we can grapple. You know what I'm saying? My last fight, where I did a lot of grappling. It wasn't a great look, but there was a lot of stuff going on in that fight. And if he wants to grapple, we can grapple. You know what I'm saying? If he does want to stand on the feet, come on, let's do it. I'm more than happy to. You know what I'm saying? Because on the feet, he's dynamic and he's explosive, but he's not standing with me for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. If he has the option, he's not standing with me.
Would you say the weight cut's easier this time just because of the fact that you had more time to diet and you said you've been more disciplined on it?
Yeah, for sure. No, I'm trying to come in. He's just like I said, the last two fights I've had, they've been short notice, and so we kind of had to jump on. And I stay in shape, I train year round, but it's such a like if the weight class was 175, I'd have zero problems ever.
Okay.
It'd be a piece of cake. But that jump from 175 to 170, that it is a little tough. You know what I'm saying? It is a little rough. So, we're just making all the preparations to, one, put myself in the best position going into the weight cut, but then also we're gonna have the full team. Because last time we were in Charlotte, there's a lot of things going on. You know what I'm saying? My head coach, he had a really big incident the week before, so he was sidelined for a lot of the week leading up to the fight. People were having to scramble and do all this and all that. But now this time, my whole team's going to be there with me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? We got our regiment. We're going to stick to the regiment. The weight cut won't be a problem. It'll be a non-story this time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to get up there, make weight, and we're going to get to what we're all here for, which is the fight.
And of course, you were a former middleweight, and at the top of the division, we have a new champion, Sean Strickland, beating Israel Adesanya. I got to get your take on that. That was a crazy fight.
Man, I tell you, I've missed so many big UFC moments because of
you didn't watch it live?
Events. I did watch it live. I did no,
okay.
And I watched the cards live, but the main events, they happen so late. Sometimes,
I
especially if the fight starts a little slow, I'll nod off, I'll fall asleep, and I've missed a lot of big moments like that where I wake up the next day and I'm like, I can't believe I fell. And that almost happened with this one. Like the whole first round's going, I'm kind of like nodding off. They're feeling each other out, you know what I'm saying? And thank goodness Sean rocked him with that punch, because that almost made me.
That woke everyone up, I think.
Yeah, I was holding my baby. We were both falling asleep, and I just about jumped out of the chair when that happened. I was like, "Am I dreaming right now?" I was pinching myself to see if it was really happening. But no, I mean, Sean just went out there, and it was crazy, because it's just like, perception is everything, especially in this sport. Stylebender's been touted as the most sophisticated striker in the history of, the middleweight division and MMA period. But even going back to his kickboxing days, if you go back and watch those kickboxing fights, the people who give him the most trouble are people who are defensively sound, who just come forward and put steady pressure on them. You know what I'm saying? They don't bite on all the feints. They have a nice tight guard. They can defend themselves, and they can strike when the opportunity is there. And that's what Sean did. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's funny. I'm seeing all the memes where people are talking about Sean Strickland beat him with this stance, or he just beat him with, some basic stuff. But, people got to appreciate, it might seem simple what he was doing, but he was doing it at such a high level that he was able to beat someone. Like, more often than not, if you go in there and you try to throw 1-2s at Stylebender, you're getting knocked out in the first round. His defensive abilities, his abilities to spot the openings, throwing with no telegraph. I mean, it was really just a beautiful performance, and it was crazy to watch. It was inspiring to watch.
I know we had talked about this a few interviews ago, and obviously he's going to be a little bit ahead of you in the division, but what did you make of Ian Garry, that whole thing with Neil Magny, and then he wins the fight? I know that's a fight you want down the line, but what did you think of that whole thing, even just starting first with the Jeff Neal mugshot leading into him beating Magny?
Man, this is the thing, what I'm saying? You got to give credit where credit's due. You know what I'm saying? I can't take anything away from him. He's doing his thing right now. He's doing great. And it's just something I didn't even really watch that fight too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Ian's destined for the top of the division, I believe I'm destined for the top of the division, then we're gonna meet each other. And when that comes, then I'll start talking about this guy again. But right now, there's plenty of people talking about him. People don't need to hear my opinion on it. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
fair enough. Playing the yeah, no, I get it. Trust me, because again, you got a fight coming up here. It's important, and it's coming up here September 23rd, UFC Fight Night. Bryan, if there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to mention, I'll give you the last word.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show again. You know what I'm saying? Love to talk to you. Love to talk to the people. Got to shout out my wife. You know what I'm saying? Once again, she always it's tough being a fighter's wife, you know what I'm saying? Especially in fight camp, you're training all the time, you're driving all over the place. You're cranky. So shout out to my wife, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my head coach, Tom Ziegler, you know what I'm saying? Super instrumental in any success that I've had and will have. All my teammates, like I said, our training sessions are very, very hard. It's not easy training with me. You know what I'm saying? I like to push myself and the people I'm working with to the limit so that, there's not a whole that the fight is easier than the practice. So, shout out to my teammates and once again, you're low on calories right now. I can get grumpy sometimes, during some training sessions, I'm saying things can get pretty spicy every once in a while. But, shout out to my boys for sticking by me and working with me and helping me get better. And just everyone else, you know who you are. People who are listening to this, anyone who's helped me get better and improve myself is not just a fighter, but a human being. I want to, send some love out to.